April O'Neil is white. She's white in her first appearance in the original Mirage comics. You can see Baxter Stockman is black and April O'Neil is white. Since then, she has around 40 years of established history in hundreds of different versions of Ninja Turtles media as a white woman. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my Ninja Turtles channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this. Ninja Turtles are cool because they don't look like anyone. They're green. They're turtles. You talk about each turtle using their personality and character to describe them. When the race of a character like April gets changed, it seems like the writers are implying that simply having a different race will mean the character will act differently and think differently and look differently. It feels a little cheap to exaggerate the genetic differences between races. I can imagine some fancy Hollywood boardroom where a smug producer declares that they should toss in a person of color. After all, they've got money too. Some people think it's great that young black girls can see themselves in the Turtles now. But honestly, who cares what girls think? The Turtles are for boys. Why is anyone changing anything to appeal to girls? Imagine if men were complaining about Barbie. There aren't enough car chases in Barbie. There aren't enough sports in Barbie. Why doesn't Barbie take her top off? Can you even think of how ridiculous it would be if Barbie changed to accommodate men? So why do boys' properties like the Turtles change to please girls who aren't even fans? Even if they put April in blackface, virtually none of the writers, studio heads, producers, directors, and people behind the scenes are black. It's why these characters feel shoehorned in. Hollywood doesn't know how to write for these characters. They're afraid to give these forced diversity hire characters any negative traits because they're scared of promoting harmful stereotypes or something. Can you imagine if black characters were played by white people? Black Panther starring Tom Hanks, Precious starring Katy Perry, Roots starring the Jonas Brothers. It seems like they wanted to add a black character just to add a black character. Hollywood has a weird history of adding thoughtless characters just to hit some imaginary self-imposed diversity quota. And when did the definition of diversity change to mean no white people? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by white people. 2 white men. You can change the race of all the characters you want, but the Ninja Turtles wouldn't exist without white men. If Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created the Ninja Turtles today, they would be chastised and punished. How dare they write a story about Japanese people when they're not Japanese? Guess what? Kevin and Peter aren't turtles either. There are more white people than black people in the United States. Why isn't Hollywood trying to appeal to the majority? Do they think black people won't watch unless they see someone that looks like them? How little does Hollywood think of black people? Some people think Hollywood hates black people. Some people think Hollywood hates white people too. Pretty much everything that comes out of Hollywood has a subversive anti-white and anti-male message. Do you think the Seth Rogen produced Turtles movie will have a black April O'Neil? Some people think Seth Rogen has a thing against white people. They'll probably add some gratuitous scene where the Turtles and April share a moment about how hard it is to be discriminated against. The relationship between April and the Turtles is interesting because they're opposites. They're an odd couple. April is pretty and she's on the news, while the Turtles are mutants and they have to hide in the sewers. The world accepts April and rejects the Turtles. It's interesting to see an attractive, successful woman run through the sewers with 4 green monsters. It's Beauty and the Beast. The contrast between them is the dynamic. But if nothing matters anymore and we're all interchangeable, why don't we make April O'Neil a black guy or a trans Indian? Maybe we can turn all the turtles into gay frogs, and they're all girls. We already made Casey Jones a woman. It's just a matter of time before we get an all-girls version of the Turtles, and it's going to suck. Why do Hollywood writers think jamming stuff like this into shows and movies is a good idea? It never works. Sometimes they add a new character that has no flaws or personality as some sort of token identity placekeeper. Their political message has become more important than the quality of their work or its ability to make money. They're not trying to make money. They're already rich. They're trying to make you feel bad about yourself. Hollywood talks about black people like furniture. You know what this room could use? Some black people. Ooh, fun. It would be great if we had a black person on this show. Maybe a couple black people. How exotic. Hollywood has even added black movie and black TV sections to Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, and every other streaming site. They want black people to think they can't be successful without a handout. Do other people really ever click these sections? Who wakes up and says, I feel like watching a black person? I'd like to be entertained by black people. Does Hollywood really think black people are that different? They talk about watching black people like going to the zoo and watching animals. And don't forget, this is the exact same Hollywood that decided to make Baxter Stockman white in the 1987 Ninja Turtles show. Making a character black doesn't make them interesting. It's offensive to black people, and it's an attack on white people and the Ninja Turtles. It's not brave to change a male character to a woman, or make a straight character gay. It's not brave to make a white character black. These types of changes aren't done in good faith, like the change actually adds something to the character or makes the show more entertaining or compelling. This type of change is tacky and corny. It's done out of spite. It's cliche, and it's unnecessary. April O'Neil is white.